There is always a dark side of the journey. There is always something that will be sacrificed when you choose to be on your path. And a lot of people think that being on your path means that you're doing only the right things in your life and that you don't focus on doing the bad stuff. But it's a dichotomy. It's all gray. There's no black and white to it. You don't choose what's right and what's wrong. You choose what's right and what's wrong for you, which means that not everyone is going to understand, and they're not supposed to. Just because you want to work out 5 times a week doesn't mean that it's what's right or what's wrong for anyone else. It's what's right for you. Just because you want to be more mindful of what you are eating, what you're putting into your body, and the stuff that you consume and the things that you put on the TV and what you listen to on the radio doesn't mean that it's right or wrong. It just means that's what's right for you. If you decide that you no longer want to allow people to violate your boundaries, if you decide that you don't want to hang out with certain people in your life, it's not that they're wrong. They're just not right for you. They might be a little bit wrong for you. That's okay. So the dark side of the journey is that not everyone is going to understand the journey, and they're not supposed to. You got to stop taking it personally when people don't celebrate the things that you're doing. We're not here for celebrations from people. We're here for celebrations for you. You got to stop questioning and being offended when someone doesn't align with the vision or the path that you're on. Guess what? That's normal. That's almost expected. You are going against the norms. You're willing to be different. As a matter of fact, I would wear that as a badge of honor. The dark side of the journey is just the explanation of that. Sometimes you're going to find yourself in shadows. Sometimes you're going to find yourself in places, in valleys, in a little bit of isolation. That's the journey. You're going to go through different places, different stages of life that not always are going to look bright and sunny. There's going to be weekends when you feel a little bit lonely because you didn't go out and have a drink at the bar with your boys, and now you're seeing all these Snapchats or whatever of a bunch of just memories. It doesn't mean you missed out. It just means that you made a decision to stay home, and that's okay. Yeah, sometimes it sucks, and sometimes you feel like you missed out, but at the end of the day, what are you doing this all for? What type of life are you trying to create? You guys know how I feel about Mondays. I love Mondays because I get to set the tone for the week. But I also am working heavily on my 4 pillars, which is health, wealth, relationship, and self. So last night I made a decision to work on relationships. So I went out and I hung out with my cousins, and we went to Chinatown and we did karaoke, and I let my hair down and I was able to let loose for a little bit. But that meant that I knew that I had to make a shift in my schedule. So I gave the team the day off for the day, but that doesn't mean that I take the day off. Why? Because this feeds my soul. And the dark side of the journey is that they're all at a museum right now, and I don't get to be there. Not because I'm missing out, but because I got to choose what I wanted to participate in, and I get to participate in this now. And that's my choice. Nobody makes me feel bad about it. I don't feel bad about it. I don't guilt myself about it. It's all about personal choice. So when you are on your journey, when you are doing the work, when you are waking up early, when you are going to bed on time, and you miss out on things, you don't really miss out on much. You get to create the life that you want for yourself because you are building something amazing. You are healthier than other people. That's what this is all about. Understand that not everyone is going to align with what you are doing, and they're not supposed to. They're not supposed to understand. They're not supposed to get it. They're not supposed to be on the same page as you are. Now, it's a little bit different if it's someone that is literally on our team, right? Our partner. But even then, they're not going to understand you 24/7. They're not. And that's okay. Be willing to be different. Be willing to show up to a coaching call where you listen to somebody talk for half an hour on a Monday while you do your meal prep instead of watching TV or zoning out on Netflix. Be willing to do that. That's your new norm. That's your new baseline. You guys are showing up and you're being willing to be different because this isn't what people do. This is the dark side of the journey. This is the dark side of the journey where like people look at you like you're crazy because you're going to do what on a Monday? Mindset Monday. What's that? They don't get it. But just because it's dark doesn't mean that it always will be dark. You got to let it up. You got to understand you got to be your own light. You are making that light. And it doesn't happen automatically. It takes time. It takes effort. But it does get done. And the more you do it, the more that you are on this path, the more you will realize that there's people around you that are also on this path. You're on this journey together. You're not alone. And the more that you make that decision of understanding that you are going to be on this journey and that maybe you'll lose some friends, but when you lose friends, you attract new people into your life. You attract the right type of person to your life. You start to realize that it doesn't have to be all sunshine and rainbows, but it doesn't have to all be darkness either. Your life, it really is what you make of it. And there's nothing more beautiful than that, in my opinion. So ask yourself, maybe right now I am going through this period of what you would call isolation, what maybe you identify as nobody understands me. That's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. People are not going to understand you. If you live your entire life trying to make everybody happy, trying to make everyone understand you, trying to explain yourself to everybody, God damn it, you are such a divided person. Be whole. You can't make everybody happy. And you shouldn't try to. Make you happy. Live for yourself. There's people in our lives right now that won't be in our lives in 1 year or 2 years. And there's people in our lives right now that are very important to us, but we all go through phases. And those people, as much as they may feel like they are a part of your life right now, it doesn't mean they're going to be there forever. And it also means that you have to understand that you need to be true to who you are, not to the type of person that you think you have to be, but the type of person that you want to be. Because you get to decide what that is. So the dark side of the journey is understanding that there's going to be people that don't understand what you are going through. There's going to be people who make fun of it. There's going to be people who judge you for it. And there's going to be people that push away from you because of it. But that's okay. They are on their journey and you are on yours. And your journey is individual. But the dark side is not as dark as it seems, because guess what? You staying in on a Friday night instead of going out and having a drink, you're not missing out on anything bad. I promise you. You're not. You're not missing out on anything that is going to be fun as much as you think it is, because now you are becoming a more mature, well-rounded person. You are going to attract the right partner. You are going to attract the right people. So the dark side is not a place that you have to run away from. The dark side is a place that you have to light up. You just got to make it brighter. You got to be your own light. Because the dark side of the journey is only dark if you keep closing your eyes, and if you keep refusing to make your own light. So be your own light. Bring the right people around you. We make space for the right people in our life when we start to remove, or maybe they remove themselves, the people who just don't want to be there anymore. People who don't understand us anymore. And that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. It doesn't mean that they were bad people. It doesn't mean that the relationship was bad. It just means that they have kind of run their course in your life. There's nothing wrong with that. The relationship wasn't necessarily a bad thing. It just means that you have outgrown them. And honestly, I think that's one of the most beautiful things that you can do in this world is outgrow situations, outgrow people. And if they want to keep up and they want to catch up, wonderful. But guess what? That is also not a requirement, because they are on their journey and maybe they outgrew you. And that's also okay. There's nothing wrong with that. So just understand that when we talk about the dark side of the journey, it is the fact that sometimes it's going to be lonely. Sometimes you're going to feel like you're missing out on stuff. Sometimes you feel like people don't understand you. Sometimes you feel like you're misunderstood. None of these things are bad. They're almost not only anticipated, they are expected and they are necessary. But you have to be your own light. It is not about moving out of the darkness of the journey. It is about being your own light. About understanding that this is part of the process. When we start to change, when we start to become a little bit more deliberate with our actions, with the way that we do things, with the way that we live life, we will attract and we will push the right people away from us. We will. And when you become so comfortable with yourself that you don't mind when people are looking at you as if you're crazy, talking to a bunch of people on your porch, you stop to really care about what people think about you. And not because they don't matter, but because what you think about yourself matters 10 times more than what you think people think about you. And by the way, they're not even thinking about you. So be in your own world. Be happy with who you are. Live the life that you want. Get your steps in. Go to bed early. Do your workouts. Push the wrong people away. Bring the right people in. Make new friends. Lower the action threshold as often as you can. Raise the right types of boundaries and as often as you have to. And be a freaking fighter jet. Do not be a hot air balloon, guys.